Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this.
Just destroyed Providence. I mean, just a defensive masterpiece from the Wildcats tonight. Held Providence to 16 points through the first 24 minutes of this ball game. McCall, how about that trust word again? I keep asking you, do you trust people? Where's your trust level at with Villanova right now? It's been a very up and down season for Kyle Neptune's team.
God, that was an offensive struggle. Man, it's for a guy that loves offense and a good coach whose teams can always score. That was tough to watch in the first half of the game, 26-16. Not a lot of shots going in. The ball plays, as we call them, weren't really working. I think both these teams have been inconsistent, and I sound like a broken record on the Field of 68. They both have young head coaches that are still trying to figure out who they are as head coaches. Kim English is a young head coach. Kyle Neptune's a young head coach, and both taking over situations. And Kyle Neptune is even more challenging because Jay Wright's one of the greatest college basketball coaches of all time. And to walk in there and everyone's like, oh, well, it's Villanova, he should be winning. No, he's got to figure out who he is. And this is a good win for him. They needed this one. We saw them early on in the year in their MTE and what they were able to do down there, but they've just lacked consistency. And I think that's the biggest key. And, I don't know if either of these teams make the NCAA tournament, but you got two coaches that are both really, really young trying to figure out who they are. And both of them have had success. So I think both these programs will be good, but it's just that's the biggest challenge.
RC?
I think I was one of the guys that said this team would compete for the Big East title to start. I thought they were a surprise team when everybody was picking, obviously Marquette and UConn and everyone else. I thought this was a team and they very well, and I did say they could win the Big East tournament. This team very well could do that, and they've shown that for 30 minutes of tonight's game. But this team is underachieved, and I agree with everything you're saying, Matt. They're two guys I know both of them well. I'm cheering for them, and I think they'll figure things out. But Villanova is different for me because I don't think there's a philosophical change in playing style, right? So like when Hubert took over, there's things that you can see he complete system change there. We're not playing two bigs. We're opening this thing up, and so as your team struggles to make that adjustment, I don't know if there's a offensive adjustment or system wise. They seem to be doing the same system, and with this team, that the talent level that this team has, I just don't see them being 12-10. I thought they'd be significantly better than that. So maybe my expectations was too high, but coming into this year, I expected this team to be at the top of the Big East with the UConn, even in the situation UConn's in now, and I was impressed with the way they defended early. They struggled early offensive end, but defensively is where they were flying around, getting in and out of their double teams. The rotations were on point. They were containing better dribble penetration. They did a pretty good job, I thought, tonight, and they hadn't seen that all year long. And I don't. This team won't make the tournament. I can't see it. I hadn't seen it enough, and I'd be shocked. But if they can somehow, this is one of those teams that we won't have a high seed in the Big East tournament. But if they play like they did for the first 30 minutes today, then they can get there.
But RC, I think you bring up a great point though, just in terms of Hubert Davis. Like Roy Williams is gone, so Hubert Davis has to do things the way that he wants to do them, the way that they want to play. Just to plug and play a coach in there and say, hey, look, Jay Wright's out, Kyle Neptune's coming in. Kyle Neptune's just going to basically do every single thing that Jay Wright does. No, man, he's got to do it his way. He's got to run his offense. He's got to instill his core values and be about those things. I think that's the biggest challenge, right? Like Neptune came in, nobody on the staff left that I can remember of his first year there. I know they've had a little bit of change. Ashley Howard's back there now too, but it's like he's got to do it his way. And I think that's such a great point about Hubert Davis. Like Roy Williams is gone, man. Hubert Davis is going to put his stamp on this program, even though he's taken over for a Hall of Fame coach. I mean, that's a great point.
So I'm going to put you guys on the spot to end this segment. I want you to tell me which program you think has a brighter future in this tenure. Is it Kim English's Providence program, or is it Kyle Neptune's Villanova program? Let's start with McCall, then we'll go back to RC.
Man, I think it's too early to tell for both of them. I mean, I guess you go Kim English because it's year one. He's shown his ability to be able to recruit and bring good players in here. Aduro, who played for him at George Mason, is fantastic. Ticket Gaines is fantastic. He brought both those guys with him. So can he continue to recruit at that level and bring those caliber players in there? He showed he could do it at George Mason as well, getting those guys to come. I mean, Aduro was there, so he kept him, which was a huge – I mean, Aduro could have gone wherever he wanted when Kim English got hired, and he stayed. So I think I just give the nod just because he's still in year one there. But it's, 6 of one, one half dozen of the other in terms of this.
I think it's not an indictment on either coach. I just think it's Villanova because I think they got more resources. I think there's resources there, meaning NIL money and opportunities there. It's a blue blood. It's one of those teams that we've kind of, that we've went under Jay Wright's tenure that we were like, hey, this is a blue blood program. And this is the same Providence program, as good as it is, as good as they've coaching that they've had the last few years and that they have now, and that Kim English is. There's a reason that Cooley left and went to Georgetown. And, I know his daughter's there, and it's resources and money that seems to be at the front end now of what college athletics is run by. So if you got money for NIL, this is the type of situation. So I only say Villanova because I think the resources are there to make anything happen quickly, than let's say Providence.
It's a good answer, RC. I appreciate both your insight on that. It's a hard question to answer for sure, but for the record, I thought both of you gave very fascinating looks into a lot that goes into a successful basketball program.
Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.